Indeed, some interesting results there on the sporting front, and that's how we call it a wrap here on KTN Newsdesk. My name is Abia Gina. We continue with following the ongoing strike by the doctors and nurses, and we'll be speaking to Dr. Mercy Korir, one of our colleagues, who's be giving us the latest on this particular strike. For now, let's link up shortly for News Track. Welcome for KTN News Track. And doctors and nurses began a nationwide strike this morning after talks called by the Health Ministry collapsed last night actually. Health Cabinet Secretary Cleopa Mailu has actually indicated that a major operation has been launched as more than 100 mental patients escape from Madari Mental Hospital in Nairobi over the ongoing doctors and nurses strike. Doctors and nurses began a nationwide strike after talks called by the Ministry of Health collapsed yesterday. In a press conference on Sunday night, Health Cabinet Secretary Dr. Cleopa Mailu said the ministry was scheduled to meet union officials on Sunday, but that officials did not show up. Our medical correspondent, Dr. Mercy Korir, is monitoring the events from the doctor's base and now joins us live for an update. Good afternoon, Dr. Korir. Perhaps we've seen a number of developments from different counties. From where you are, what is the latest we are getting regarding this particular strike?
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me just say that the demonstration that we have seen today has been primarily of the doctors. That had started in the morning from the Public Service Commission, and the doctors headed down to Afya House, where when they tried to gain entry into the premises of Afya House, we had a little bit of a scuffle, and some tear gas was lodged temporarily to disperse the doctors and deter them from making forceful entry into the Afya House premises. But after that, the union officials addressed the doctors briefly, and then the doctors made a procession to Parliament buildings where the union officials continued addressing the doctors, and finally now, as we speak, we are at the Treasury buildings, and we are told that the doctors are expecting that the permanent secretary will come and address the doctors. The rallying call by the doctors has been an implementation of the collective bargaining agreement, which translates to 300% pay rise. And according to the doctors and what they've calculated, they said this would be 8 billion, including arrears for 1 year for the 3,000 or thereabout of the doctors in public service.
And Dr. Korir, looking at the state of developments in the health sector, we've not had much from the county government, who also play a critical role in ensuring the health sector is actually well prioritized.
Okay, as we speak, our sources inform us that there's an ongoing meeting at the Ministry of Health between the Cabinet Secretary for Health, Dr. Cleopa Mailu, the CEO of the Council of Governors, Governor Ongwa is the governor of Kisii, and the chair of the Health Committee for Health Committee, not Health Committee, but the Human Resource Committee for the Council of Governors, including Governor Kinuthia Mbogwa and another governor whose name we are yet to learn. So their meeting is still ongoing. We don't have any word about what the meeting is all about, or if they've arrived at any solution to the strike that has been launched by the doctors and the nurses today.
Many thanks there, Dr. Mercy Korir, just giving us an update into the ongoing public strike by the doctors and nurses. And we'll be getting more details as we move along with this particular broadcast. And of course, this continues to be the talking point right now, where a majority of the doctors have downed their tools, saying they need their demands to be met as enshrined in the collective bargaining agreement. And we also have seen some politicians take to give comments on this particular strike. And let's hear in on what Senator Lenny Kivuitu had to say.
I'm very, very disturbed about this doctor's strike in a level 5 hospital in Embu County. We cannot afford to spend so much money building a big hospital like this, and then there are no services. Worst of all, when you hear a pregnant lady is giving birth on a corridor due to lack of doctors, due to lack of services, is very traumatizing. There's no politicking that we are using here. Life, human life, life of Kenyans is so vital that we should not use any kind of politicking or any kind of excuse when we know very well government of Kenya has given billions and billions of shillings to the county government in order to render services. No wonder, you know, when people are telling me to come and run Embu County, now I'm even more convinced. If we can be given money and we cannot manage our health facilities, understandably, now the nurses are going also to come on the strike. And this is not a laughing matter. Something that has been running on for 3 weeks. 3 weeks without health services in a big hospital. I think the oversight committee of Senate needs to come into this. But then even if they come, before they meet, now Senate is in recess, we cannot afford to wait for people to die so that we come with an excuse. Something must be done. Even if it means national government stepping in, we shall try and cure the wounds if the county government is incapable.
Well, that's just the latest on what's happening and what we are covering for you this afternoon as the doctors and nurses began their nationwide strike where they're trying to push for the implementation of the collective bargaining agreement.